The name is Brandon Groce. And we are the Game Changers. Designers, creatives alike. We are in a world that runs on value. Our next designs will be the shiniest. Our next animation will be the most buttery. Ladies and gentlemen, Game Changers, let the games begin.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Editor X Live with me, your host, Brandon Groce. It's good to see you guys in the chat. Dimma, Adrian, Lisa, Lorraine, and Lainey. What is happening? I'm glad to see you guys. Obviously, there seems to be some energy in the room because you guys were excited. And quick question for Lorraine. Are the assets that are in the description, are they solo images? They should not be in XD format. They should be, I believe I updated them yesterday, they should just be the assets, the logos, things of that nature. But if they are not, please do let me know. And if you guys are watching this post, what we're working on today is we are going to create a landing page for a video game website. And one of my very favorite games is called Valorant by Riot Games. And we're gonna create a landing page with a video in the background and make it responsive, so you guys can check out and get the assets for that down below. First link in the description. So with that said, let's move into some of the things that we got to get out of the way before we get into our project for today. So let's get in. So first things first, obviously I am in the wrong spot. Give me a second. I was reading some things before we got in. So if you guys are new to these challenges and you are watching this for the first time, first off, do make sure you're subscribed and like this video before we continue. And if you're watching this and you want to get started with us in the challenges, please make sure you go to editorx.com and start your free trial. Not a free trial, literally sign up for EditorX for free and start making responsive websites today. No cost at all. Put your email, your name, password, all those things, sign up and get ready to do some awesome things with us in our challenges. So, second thing, once you do that, you have your account in EditorX, you do want to make sure you join our Discord. Also, link in the description. You can go to editorx.com too. We have a link down in the description for you guys to grab as well. But when you join our Discord, and really what this is basically you guys will get announcements of all future challenges. You guys will be able to submit your challenges as well as be able to talk to amazing creatives like ourselves here in the chat and myself in the EditorX team. And on top of that, you're able to really just ask questions. So to go through everything, like I said, weekly challenges are announced each and every day. You guys get to see what the challenge is going to be, a link to it. You guys get to ask a whole bunch of questions technically, and I love when you guys do this because it pushes me and gets me to understand where you guys are at and helps me create content for you guys that helps you make even better responsive websites each and every day. And on top of that, we did just add a new channel for you guys in chat called Challenge Suggestions, and you guys have definitely already started to take liberty and add some cool content that you guys would like to see in future challenges. So I appreciate you guys from submitting your challenges, asking really good questions, and adding suggestions. And we'll go over later towards the end of today how to submit your challenges so you guys win the prizes at the end of each challenge weeks. Or each monthly challenge. There we go. Each monthly challenge. And if you guys aren't familiar, we are giving one lucky individual who has the most beautifulest design challenge submissions. We are giving you guys EditorX merchandise, hoodies, socks, stickers. I think there's even a water bottle in there. Socks. I was really excited about the socks, so I said it twice. But anyways, that's what our Discord is for. It's basically one in all place for you guys to get announcements, ask questions, chat with creatives, and much more. So, with that said, let's get into today's challenge. I'm going to showcase a little bit of what it is, and then we'll go ahead and get started. No, Lorraine, they're XD. Hold on, I think I can save all of us really quick. Give me a second. You guys in the chat will have them. Because I'm so nice. Alright, give me a second. Just gotta go through some of my... I'm gonna get you guys the link to all this so that you guys can work along with me because you guys came here first. So I'm gonna give you guys this. challenge is, here we go, files. And today, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna send all of you this in the chat so you guys, actually, you know what, I'm not, because Dropbox is not on. All right, we're gonna have to wait. All right, ladies and gentlemen. But you know what, the thing is that with this challenge, we don't actually need a lot of the assets. You guys will be able to produce a lot of what we're going to do here. Without it, if you guys want to create the exact same thing, that's cool and all, but let's go ahead and just get started with how this works. So what we are going to do, I'm going to preview this so you guys can see what this actually looks like. So we have a nice background image here, or background video rather, and we created a little bit of a nice little interactive button here where it's a nice little slide off to the right, and I think right here there's a nice little change from this little box in this corner here from black to white. So if we have time, we'll also get into that. But we're gonna try to get into everything, okay? So this is the desktop. This is what it looks like as we squeeze it down to tablet, squeeze all the way to mobile. All right, so that's what we're looking at, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so with that said, I am going to edit the site and let's dive in. Lorraine, the dots after your, I think they're XD, just makes me so sad. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna make a new page. So I'm going to plus. You guys are seeing my analytics screen only? Oh, that is interesting. Why is it showing that? I apologize, guys. Give me a second. I have no idea why it's even showing that screen. To be quite honest with you. Give me 2 seconds. I got to change some things around and I'll be right back. Right, we're back. So I have no idea why. I guess my computer switched somehow automatically which screen it was going to display. So I apologize about that. It never has done that before, but okay, we're now here and you guys can see what I'm talking about. It's almost borderline embarrassing, but thank you, Lorraine. All right. So to re-show you guys again, and that's crazy. That means the entire time you guys are just like looking at my screen over here. And I was going through everything about Discord and whatnot. So thanks for saving the day. So this is what we have. I'm going to preview this yet again. We have our background video going off here. We have our menu. And this is what we're looking at as we squeeze this. All the way down to tablet, all the way down to mobile. And we're looking pretty good. And this button here, we gave it a nice little hover animation. It has two containers. It has a black one, it has a red one, and we have some, basically, we did a little dazzle in the corner here where there is a box that goes from black to white just to see what we could do. So with that said, very simple stuff, but we are going to see if we can get this all down in under 45 minutes. Okay. So I'm going to go, now that you guys are all seeing what's happening here, I'm going to go ahead and go new page, and we're going to call this, I'm just going to call it X tutorial for now. And I'm actually going to duplicate this so that I can use the home page that I have as reference. right, so I'm gonna go page. Okay, cool. So we are on the exact page that we need. And what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna spend too much time on the menu, guys, or creating the pages. You guys have that covered, I believe. If not, please let me know and I will show you guys how I do the menu, but it does take a good chunk of time. I don't want to create all those pages. We can use that time to talk about some other things. So I'm gonna come back here. I already have, all right, so we have black here. So I'm going to take the background of this menu and I am going to make it black, just like this. Okay, now I'm going to delete the images and whatnot just so you guys can see how I input those. The button and my other image here is pretty straightforward. Actually, you know what? We're going to do it all from scratch. We're going to do it all from scratch, guys. So I'm going to Control Z all this and I'm just going to delete this and we'll start from scratch so you guys get the full effect of everything. So I'm going to make my first menu here. I'm just going to start a whole new menu. I'm going to go to my inspector on the right hand side, make our background black, and I want to create a grid here. So I'm going to make sure that this section is selected, apply grid, and we're going to do a 3x1. And what I want here is I'm going to give just a little bit of space over here for the logos. I'm going to give a lot of space for my menu, and I'm just going to give just a little bit of space for our Play Now button and our other link right over here. So I'm going to click Done, go back to our inspector right here, layout, and I'm going to do 30 pixels on the left. I'm going to give it some padding and 30 pixels on the right. So you guys can see here we have padding in green. From here I'm just going to right click, quick add, image. And if you guys have SVGs, feel free to utilize those in the columns here. So I'm going to duplicate this, pressing Control D because we have two logos that go in here. I'm going to change the image and I am going to use the Riot Games, and I'm going to change image to our Valorant logo, which is this V here. All right, so they're a little cropped, so I'm gonna go press this gear button and I'm going to reset image. I'm gonna do the same over here so that they fit exactly into the image containers that I have. And I'm gonna scale these to a proper size, or a size that I would like. Right around here. Okay, I'm gonna dock both of them to the left. And I am going to start working on the right side of the menu. So I'm gonna go ahead, go to my plus here. I'm gonna just do a quick button, drag that over here. I'm gonna double click, or excuse me, click and then change text. Caps lock, I'm gonna say Play Now. We're gonna click on the button, go to the inspector, design tab, and we're gonna make this red. I want this button to be, did we lose Brandon forever? What happened? What do you, hold on, Lorraine, you're scaring me. What do you mean, did we lose Brandon forever? Did something happen? And if you're not seeing anything on your screen, Lorraine, maybe what needs to take place is maybe you can refresh the screen, but I think we're good. Because I see excellent connection on my end, but let me know if you see anything else on yours. So what I want to do here is I want to make the corners. Yeah, Adrian says, all right, cool. Stream is A-okay. All right, cool. Thank you, guys. I was like, man, we having some serious stream trouble today. All right. So I clicked this button. I made sure that we went to border, and I basically zeroed out all of the radius so we have a nice little square button here. I do want to change the text color to black, so I'm going to just go here. Ta-da. All right, boom. And I do want to make the text maybe a little bit thicker, so I'm going to go back in here, and I'm going to change this to, let me go ahead and double check what the font is that we're using for these menus. We are using Deedon Bold, so I'm going to go ahead and find that. There we go. Perfect. All right, so next what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to add my other image over here. I'm going to right click, making sure that I'm selecting the correct section. Add image. Where did our image go? I'm going to just align it. I'm using my alignment tools to try to, there we go. Sometimes, like I said, guys, the image just like goes somewhere. And especially when you're trying to pull something in the corners of your, because this is a corner, when I added the image, sometimes it kind of goes off screen. So I use my alignment tools to pull it back in. All right, so I'm gonna change this to our little sphere that we have. And I'm gonna see, oh, nope, that's not it. You know what I might do is I might actually just make it a shape. I'm gonna delete that, and I'm gonna just take a shape from Editor X's suggestions. So I'm gonna make sure the shape is white so we can see it. Boom, we have a star. I'm gonna change basic shape, and I am going to type in internet. Let's see. I'm gonna try to find like a world icon. Maybe I'll type in world. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use this one. Add to page. I'm gonna scale it up just a little bit. Same size as the button. All right, Lorraine says all good now. You had me worried, Lorraine. I was like, oh no. All right. Okay, so just like we did on the left side, we're gonna do on the right. I'm gonna dock my button and my world image to the right. And the reason why I'm doing that is because as we start doing responsive things, and as that section gets smaller, this world will try to pull towards this side of this grid that I have, rather than staying put where it is. So I don't want it to split away. And for the menu, I am going to just add element, go to menu and search, and I'm just going to drop a menu here. I'm going to change the color of the text, and I'm going to pull this out as much as I can, just like this. I'm going to manage the layout of the menu. I do not want all items to be the same size, and I don't need the items to fill the whole menu, so I'm going to untoggle both of these. I want my text to align left and the items to align left. Perfect. And I'm going to dock this to the left and make sure it's really right on that line or that section of the grid. All right, so we're done with the menu, and if you guys are wondering, those of you who have not joined the rest of our amazing challenges, basically everything within this menu that we've created is being pulled from the pages that we have. So if you guys want to click on this icon here, pages, and just create all of the pages you have, every single thing that you have here will be populated in this menu when you ask to create a new, or when you go to manage your website, you go to add item, site pages, and you have your entire list here. You can uncheck them and apply them, or you can add as many as you want. So we're just going to keep all of those for now. Nishant, what's going on? Glad to have you, my friend. So we are working on a video game homepage where we have a video playing in the background, and basically doing a little bit of an interactive button here. So those are the two main things that we have. All right, so now let's move on to our main section here. We are going to make this. My chat is slow. Guys, is my audio off? Or is it delayed? Let me know. Because I see that my connection is good on my end. We have full excellent connection when it comes to YouTube, so it says. All right, so let's move on to our section here. I do want the height of this to be 100 VH. And Lorraine, I'm so sorry that your experience of the delayedness and the connection is not the best. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we have a couple lines, and we have. Let me just break this down. So there is a video in the background. We have another section on top that is basically facilitating our vertical lines here, and then we have a section here that's just centered. So that's kind of how we're going to approach this. So first off, we're just gonna go to our layers here, and we are going to add a container. And you know what? We don't even really need to, really use the container. I'm actually gonna see if we can do it without it this time. What I'm gonna add here is I'm gonna quick add. I'm gonna do a video box, and I'm gonna scale it to the whole section. Nishan is asking, do you play Valorant? I'm not gonna lie, I love Riot Games. I have played Valorant. However, I'm really inspired by their website, but I love League of Legends. Valorant, I'm not so good at shooting games. I can't aim, guys. My clicking ability is reserved for designing. Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to change this video. I have already uploaded the video that we're going to use, and this will be in the files that I hand to you guys. The link in the description. I know it's actually, let me go ahead and see if I can. I don't want to open Dropbox and everything kind of messes up here. But these assets will be linked in the description. I'll also drop them in our Discord so that you guys can have them. I accidentally just gave you guys the Editor X, or excuse me, the Adobe XD files. But these will be handed to you, and if you're rewatching or rewatching this replay, when you're watching this, you will have the correct link in the description, and it's the first link down below. All right, so I'm gonna change video. I'm gonna pull this video in, update it, and so far, so good. We have our menu, we have our video playing in the background, and so now we're just going to, and it auto plays too, so that's good. Next, I'm going to select my section again. I'm going to, I wonder if we do a grid to this. I think I'm going to do something, I don't necessarily want to apply a grid to this. I'm going to try to make it a little bit cleaner. I'm going to do a quick add with a container. And again, there's no right or wrong way to do this. But what we're doing next is I'm going to take the color off of this, background 0, and I am going to apply a grid to this container. I'm going to do a 4x1. And this is basically to get our vertical lines here. So I'm going to pull this over just about here. I'm also going to pull this line. And this can say right over here. Now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to click my plus, go to decorative, and I'm going to get vertical lines. And I'm just going to make there. I'm going to make sure that they are aligned directly on those grid sections, or those section grids. And I'm going to make the height be 100% so they go the entire width, or the entire height of the container, if you guys see that. And I'm going to make them white so we can make it, so we can see them a little bit better. Nishan says that's my Valorant is my go-to on the weekend. I'm glad, man. Well, hopefully, I'm glad to be able to do something that is relatable to you, man. I definitely wish I had more time to play video games these days. All right. So I'm just duplicating them, holding Control D, and then I'm just making sure that the other pieces go into place, making sure that they are aligned to the grids that I've made. Up next, I'm going to add one more image. I'm going to add that little red tag that we made right here. I'm going to change image, get this, and I'm going to scale this down to the size that I want. I'm going to left align it so it gets right on that grid section. And I'm going to make sure, I'm going to reset this. Perfect, it looked a little bit cropped. And I'm going to make sure that it is docked in the correct places. I only want to dock it to the left here. Nishan says, I was gonna design the player menu of the game, so I'm gonna steal your assets. As long as you also say, this is for educational purposes, okay? This is for educational purposes. Alright, so up next is we are going to get our subtext and our logo in here, and then I'll show you guys how to make this interactive button, and then we'll go ahead and make it responsive. So what I'd like to do here is, now I'm going to give my, I wonder, let's see. I'm going to go back to the edit site here. All right, perfect. Now I'm going to go to my main section and I'm just going to add, an image. I'm going to add a title. And I think I'm gonna add a button. Well, actually, we don't need a button just yet. We'll start off with this. Oh, Lorraine says, just delayed the chat, but the lesson is good. Oh, okay, cool. I was worried. All right, let's grab our Valorant logo here. We're going to reset the image. We're going to center this to our section, both vertically and horizontally. We're going to take our title here. We're going to make this white. And if you guys haven't already, if you guys are excited about today's challenge, please make sure that you like this video. And if you haven't already, subscribe, because that helps just tremendously this video and for other people to learn. I'm gonna center align this, and I'm gonna just steal what this says. I'm just gonna copy it, paste it, give it some more room. I'm going to drop the size down just a little bit to 22 pixels. And I do also want it to be the D-din, maybe not D-din bold. No, we'll do D-din bold for our font. Okay, and let's see. I think this is a tad too big, so I'm going to scale this down. Center that. Pull this in. And now we're going to work on our button, guys. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull. Let's see how I did this. Just redoing or doing a little bit of a reverse engineer, guys. So we have text, boom. Okay, perfect. All right, so this is actually not a button. Take a look at this. What I'm gonna do here is I'm going to create a container. Oops. Quick add container. I'm gonna make this first one, I'm gonna make it black. And I'm gonna just scale it to a size that I feel is good for a button. And also align it center here. I'm gonna call it base button. I'm gonna hold Control D to duplicate it. I'm gonna make this one our nice red. And by the way, this is FA4B4B in terms of hex code. And I'm gonna put this right on top. So we have our base button, we have our second piece here, which is red button. BTN. And if you guys can see this, we have the red button inside of the base button, if you see that. And now what I'm gonna add in here is I'm just gonna add a title. And we are going to say play for free, or play free, in all caps. And again, we're gonna go ahead and use DDIN bold as our font. And by the way, if you guys are wondering how to get custom fonts, you can download any font, go to your this button right here, upload fonts, and literally just upload any font that you desire from your computer, your Mac, what have you, and you can use it on Editor X. And Sean says yes, just for educational purposes. All right, cool. As long as we can agree on that. All right, so I am going to make sure, I think we want to choose white for the color here. Edit text. We're going to do white. And we're going to give this, we're going to do 22 pixels. All right. Now what we want to do is I'm going to do another container here. So I'm going to select my red button here. I'm going to name this title here, play free. I'm going to duplicate the red button, just holding Control D. And I'm going to make this a square. So I'm going to do 20 pixels by 20 pixels. And if you guys see, even though I have 20 pixels here, this says minimum height 90. We don't want that. So I'm going to just take that out. And I'm going to make this color black. So we have a nice little black square here. I'm going to put it in the corner. And I'm going to use my alignment tools to make sure that it absolutely is in the corner. And okay, we're looking good. So this whole button here, if I click this, we put everything in here. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is this base button. If I click into the red button that I have here, and one thing I actually want to do is, okay, that's fine. So this black square is inside our red button. So this is how it's kind of built out. So we have the black base, the red that is in, and then we have the red that is inside the black base, and then we have like the black square that is inside the red container. So we kind of Russian dolled it. And what we're going to do is we are going to make it so when we hover on this base button, and we're going to start going to our interactions, we're going to click there. I'm going to add hover interaction, and there are a whole bunch of interactions you guys can utilize as defaults or as presets, but I want to make a custom interaction. And so when we hover over this base button, I want the red container to shift over all the way, just like this. If I can, there we go. And I can also choose what type of ease in and out and how long that animation is going to take. I'm going to leave it all of that there for right now. So I'm going to click done. And I'm going to show you what this looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and preview. I'm going to hover over, and this is what happens. Okay, this is just part one of what exactly we want to have happen here. We don't want this black box to go over, so what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to take this out of the red container. I'm going to Control X, which is basically cutting it, and I'm going to paste it directly in the base button container here. And again, I'm going to realign it to the bottom right. Perfect. Preview, and now this is what we should have. So the red goes off, but this black square stays. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back into my interactions here. Custom interactions. And I'm going to click black square. And I want, let's see, I want the color to go from black to white. Click done. I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. So boom, there we go. 1, 2. And now I am going to make it so that this base button, if I go to my layout here, we're going to take a look at the overflow content. Right now it's on show, which means that anything that moves out of that container is shown. We don't want that. So I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to click hide, and this is what we have now. And I can move this red just a little bit further, so it's totally off screen. Interactions. Oops. Make sure you're doing the interactions on the correct container and on the same one. Custom interaction. I'm going to select my red container here. I'm going to use my arrow keys just to push it over a little bit. Actually, I guess the arrow keys is fighting me, so I'm going to go ahead and use. I'll just pull it all the way out. There we go. Done. Preview. There we go. We're looking good. All right, so next we are going to add the little brackets. So, and those are images. So I'm gonna go ahead, click plus element. I'm gonna go to quick add. I'm gonna go to images, drag out one, change image, and we're gonna find our little bracketed image here. We're gonna reset the image so it's not cropped. Perfect. We're gonna drag it right over top and make sure it's centered both vertically and horizontally with our button here. And I want to make sure that, what should we call this? I'm going to call it brackets. I want to select both of these. Okay, I'm going to select the brackets, hold shift, click the button, and I'm going to place this in a container. Perfect. So now this is all in one, which is excellent. I'm going to preview it. Okay. So this is actually really good. I want you guys to see how now that these are in a container together, the interactions of the button are no longer working, and that's because the container the interactions are on are inside of the container that we just made. Adrian's asking, is it possible to have more than one hover effect? Yes, you can literally just add hover effect on top of hover effect on top of you can do crazy things. Like this is a basic form of this. You can have multiple chained hover interactions and do whatever your heart desires. This is just a very basic form of what I'm doing here. All right, so I'm gonna go back into basically everything that I put on this base button, and I wonder if I can actually copy over these interactions. I don't think I can. But essentially what we did there, we have to now do to our topmost container. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go to add interactions, custom, and I want to select the proper asset we want to actually have be affected when we hover over that full container. So first things first, just like we did, we're gonna touch our red button or our red container here. We're gonna push this all the way off. just like that. We're going to make our black square. We're going to turn this white. And maybe just for another, kicks and giggles, we're going to select play free. And maybe we turn this red. It's not really sexy, but just to illustrate the point of what's possible, guys. So there we go. And one thing I might do is actually increase the speed at which play free turns from white to red. Actually, you know what? Very good, Lisa. There you go. It wasn't just that. The bracket was on top of everything. Very good. You caught that. So I actually wonder if I would pull the bracket down. Let's see. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna delete the interactions we just made here. That's actually funny. I have no idea how. Oh, here we go. I was like, I have no idea how to delete the interactions. Wait, hold on. Container on hover. Interaction deleted. The interaction was deleted on all breakpoints. Okay. But the thing is I still see them. How do I delete them? That is something we have to figure out. I have no idea how to delete them. But back to what you were saying, Lisa, I think that actually was, we had the bracket over top that was blocking the ability to hover on the base button. So yes, you were 100% correct, and I thought it was something else and kind of like overcorrected. So yes. Either way, we're here now. And I'm happy with what we got. All right, so now we're gonna start making some things responsive. So let's move on into our tablet version. Maybe just Control X to get back where you were before. Let's see, this is gonna be a lot of Control Z's. Okay. So we have our image, we have our base button, placing container. We're gonna move our there we go. We're gonna move our image below the base button. Preview. Aha! Alright, so exactly. That's also why layers are extremely important, ladies and gentlemen. The main reason we couldn't hover was because the base button was literally below the image we had just imported, and the image was blocking the hover interaction. So, Lisa, golden star today. Golden star. Alright, tablet. And now we're going to just start making the adjustments here. So, container. I'm going to pull this out to... Maybe I want 500 pixels. Maybe not, but let's do 300. Base button, we want to make sure this stays in the center here. Oh, okay. So as you guys can see here, there's some overlapping happening, and we don't want that. So we're gonna go to our container here. We're gonna try to see how we can get, there we go. We want to make sure that we are correcting all of the docking in our buttons and things of that nature. All right, where's our main container here? I might increase the size of this. Let's see what happens. Oh, nothing. Okay. I'm going to give our button a little bit more breathing room, so I'm going to go to the base button here. I'm going to reduce the height a little bit. Let's do maybe 80. I'm gonna just set this to auto. Or none. We don't need a minimum height. We're gonna do I'm gonna set this to fluid for a second. I'm gonna set this to 80. There we go. Maybe we'll do 75. We're gonna center our play button. And basically I'm trying to figure out how can we make it so that all of this content is centered within all the boxes that we made. So if you see this container, this red button here, there we go, that's our problem. So we're gonna set this to none. Let's see if we can set this to auto, what happens. Good. All right. Now where did our red button go? Did it run off? Something, it basically like came. All right, let's retry this again. We're gonna set this to none, or we're gonna set our height to 75. And it doesn't want to for whatever reason. So let's go to none. And let's figure this out. Because the height zeroed on us. Let's go to fixed. Let's do to 75. Okay. Alright, so everything is looking good. So essentially what I had to do there was, if you saw the play free in all the boxes, some of them weren't, it said it was centered. But basically I had to make it so that all of the containers were the same. This is hard to explain, or basically the same height. So I needed to make sure that the black or the black rectangle in the back, or our base button, was 75 pixels. That our red button was 75 pixels, so that everything has the same width and height. And I'm just gonna make sure that everything is still okay. We're good. Okay, now that we're done with that, making sure all of our boxes were handled correctly, we're gonna come into fixing all these other things. So here, I'm gonna move this from fluid to fixed. I'm gonna move some of our sections here so that we can make some room for our middle content. And in tablet, we're actually gonna get rid of our main menu here. So I'm gonna do don't display. I'm gonna give our logos a little bit more breathing room here. Same thing with our content over here on the left. We're actually going to add a mobile menu. Let's see. I'm going to do that for right now. We might not do this. We're going to do don't display. And we're going to increase the size of our logo here. Center it. And give this some breathing room as well. Keep this right over top. And I'm going to hold shift and select all three of these. Container, item, and our subhead. And I'm going to drag these up. Just like this. Make sure that they're centered. Perfect. And now let's get our mobile menu in here. So I'm going to click back in our menu section. Quick add, actually not quick add. We're going to have to go to our menu and search. Find a mobile menu. And I'm going to use this plus. Just going to pop that right in there. I'm going to change the color to white so we can see it. Or maybe we'll do red. I actually don't like that shape. So we're going to pick something. We're going to pick another shape for our menu here. Or maybe I'll just pull another menu type in altogether. So I'm going to delete that. Go back to our plus. And I'll just steal this. This works. And we're going to make that red. Okay. Making sure that this is docked to the right. Perfect. And this also needs to be docked to the right as well. Pull this back just a little bit. Scale this to a good size. I'm going to switch this to fixed as well. I don't like how it's adjusting itself. Okay. All right, so let's see what's happening here. So we are going to pull this from here. All right, so we still have some button mishaps that we want to make sure that we are fixing. There's some mishap here as well, where this icon is basically coming in and interfering with our button. Okay, but our main desktop looks fine. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the mobile, and then just like we did yesterday, we are going to, once we get desktop, tablet, and mobile down, we're gonna start fixing the responsivity. Because that takes a little bit more time. Like designing something, super easy, but then the second stage is making sure we're docking things to the right places, making sure that our assets are fixed and or fluid as needed, things of that nature. All right, so again, just on mobile, make some room for my logos. Make some room for my menu and my other icon here. And in this section here, I'm actually going to remove all of, I'm going to take the container that is hosting all of our vertical lines. I'm going to not display this because we're at a breakpoint that really, oops, literally has no or actually, you know what, I'm just gonna select all the lines and I'm gonna do not display, and that should work out for us. Okay, so next I'm gonna center, and also another thing I can do is I can select this container, change grid layout, delete grid. Perfect. And that will only delete the grid for the mobile breakpoint, which is perfect. So now I can just worry about the logo and the subheads. And scale it to where I need it. I'm going to reduce the size of the actual text. So we'll do 16 pixels. We're going to center it. Perfect. And we're going to set the width to 100%. We are going to grab our button. Whoops. Making sure that we're grabbing the correct thing. Here we go. Make sure that this is absolutely centered. All right. So let's take a look. So we have our all the way from mobile to desktop. Now let's see where some of our challenges are. I'm going to get rid of this. We no longer need this. Don't display. I do want to set our logos to fixed because I do not want these to scale any smaller or go any larger. And if you guys see this, I think this is, yep, it's docked to the right. So this is kind of what I was trying to avoid. You see how this separated from the Riot games? And it's because I did not dock it to the left like we've done on all the other breakpoints. It's docked to the right. So I'm going to undock it there, dock it to the left. There we go. We're good. All right. So the problem is when we start going from tablet to desktop going up, we get a little bit of some funk going on. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to our desktop and we're gonna start to fix some things. So I want our Valorant logo to be about, I'm gonna do the full desktop here. Hold on. So I'm gonna Control Z here. I'm gonna take our Valorant logo and I do not want it fluid. I do not want it pushing and pulling. Hey, what's going on, May? What's poppin'? Glad to see you. So we've taken care of that. So I'm gonna just, okay, so Valorant is gonna stay the same. Perfect, we fixed that. We're gonna do the same thing for pretty much all of our other assets. So I'm gonna go to our button, making sure it's the topmost container. We're gonna do fixed rather than fluid, and I'm gonna make sure that I am doing the same thing for all of those assets within it. Base button, fixed. Black square, fixed. Play free, fixed. Red button, fixed. Okay. So again, testing. Boom, boom, boom. We're good. Scale, perfect. Scale, perfect. All right. Now the last thing I do want to do is this little collapse here. I don't like. So all I have to do is I just have to give this a little bit more space. Let's do 100%. Boom, boom. Perfect. Perfect. Good. All right, the only other thing that I think I could definitely do better on is these pieces here. I definitely think that we can make them a tad bit larger. So I'm going to actually go to, I'm gonna change these grids just a little bit more. I'm gonna push this over. I'm gonna switch most of these to fluid for right now. Reason being is I'm gonna scale them by percentage because it just makes it easier for me. I don't have to pick specific widths and heights. So I'm gonna do 20. Perfect. I think that's large enough. We're gonna do fixed. Fixed. I saw this image went sneakily right back to docking to the right. So I'm gonna dock it to the left. All right. So again, we're good. And one thing here, we do not want this to scale. It's at 9%. We're gonna set this to fixed. I'm gonna set, again, just making sure all the things that I do not want to scale are fixed and not fluid. We're looking good, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so we do get a little crust here. I want to make sure that our logo is pulled all the way to the left so that even when we do get squished here, we have space. And I'm going to do the same thing with our little world over here. I'm going to give it a little bit more room, making sure it's not docked to the left. We want it to dock to the right. Uh-oh. What happened there? Oh. And do make sure when you change docking sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, the image that you are changing the docking sometimes switches back to fluid. Like for example, in this case, if I try to dock to both left and right, watch this. It switches to fluid because it thinks you're trying to do some sort of responsive thing. All I'm trying to do is undock one side and go to the next. So if you accidentally go dock on both left and right, it will go back to fluid. Undo that, go to fixed. So just in case if you guys have fallen into any of those mishaps, just wanted to give you guys that information. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking good. Whoops, what just... Okay. All right, we are looking good, guys. We have a fully responsive video in the background homepage. We have a nice little interactive button as well. And we have a menu that has a black background and has our button in here. Now, for those of you who have not necessarily seen how I did the mobile menu, if I go back to my edit site, how I did this. And EditorX kind of already, let me fix one last thing here. This needs more space. Docking it to the right. Okay. Where did the mobile menu go, guys? It was just there. All right, let's see what happened to it. Let's see if we can center it. I think I probably like moved it somewhere. Anyway, I don't know if we'll just make it again because you guys didn't see how I made it. So I'm gonna go to tablet. I'm gonna go to plus. I'm gonna drag this in again. Try to get it centered here. We're gonna do red. Center it. Nope, horizontally. I'm gonna pull it back over here. And now I'm gonna go to open menu. So this is what the default open menu looks like. It's got a white background. It has all of the pages that you set to it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna click on the background. We're gonna make this black. We're gonna go click on the, I think this is blue. There we go. We're gonna make our text white. And we're gonna add a button in here. So how I'm gonna do that is just go to my plus here, quick add button, drag it right into the menu here. I'm gonna change the font size to about 20. The font to DDIN. Oops. DDIN bold. Change text. Caps play free. Our background of the button is going to be red. And we are going to change that text to black. Perfect. And we'll just scale it up. Center it. And there we go, guys. So we have our, let's go ahead, preview. Scales nicely. We have our mobile menu. We can click into it. We have our menu here with our play free button. Whew. Okay. That was quite a bit. And we have our nice interactive button, guys. All right. So with that said, let me take a peek at some of your questions here. All right. Lisa says, I have had that happen too. Mobile menu disappears when I change the grid in the header. Have never figured out how to fix it aside from building again. That's a great question. There are some bugs that I have brought up to the development team, and this is one I'm definitely going to showcase to them so we can, have them figure out why it's happening and for it not to happen again. May's asking, do you have the option to have different variety of hamburger buttons and mobile menus? Yes, May. So you have, or manually, we have, there are tons of different types of menus to choose from. However, you can also upload your own SVGs. There's other SVGs, for example, in here. So if I change, this is basically a vector art. I can upload my own vector art as seen here, or I can choose from media from Wix, and I can even search different things that I want to have for a menu. So it's not set to only these 8 options or these many options that you see here. These are just presets, and you can actually add your own SVGs, your own vector art, things of that nature. Adrian says, any good suggestions for good fonts and how to pick a versatile font? That is a great question. Honestly, I just look at amazing work off of Behance Dribble, and then I try to figure out what fonts they use and use them in my own work. There is a I'll put it in the Discord. There's a link that I use that not only shows me really amazing design work, but it shows me the fonts that they've used as well. So I'll go ahead and add that in the Discord. So make sure to take a peek on that later. So with that said, do not forget for this challenge to publish the work. You can name it whatever you'd wish. We're gonna go ahead and view the site. This URL, you can go ahead and drop in the Discord in challenges, and make sure when you're submitting your work, you do follow the allotted format. So for example, today, for me, we have my name, We are not Lorraine. Brandon Groce. Challenge. What is this? Challenge 7. And this is the link. And I'll leave this in here for you guys to peek. All right, there we go, guys. What is this? Challenge 7 reference. All right, perfect. And I do want to take a peek at all of you guys' Challenge 6 work now to do a little bit of a segue, because your guys' work was absolutely amazing. So let me make sure we have Dimma, we had Lorraine. I want to make sure, I think it was 4 or 5 of you guys. Let's see, we have Kim. I think this was Challenge 1. Let's see, we have, there we go, Kim. Perfect. So you guys did an awesome job with all of, so this is Kim's. Very nice, Kim. I would say there's a few things that we can definitely, from a docking perspective, everything looks really good right here. I would definitely say from tablet to mobile, I definitely would dock that shoe directly in the center, but this is excellent. And also where this play button is, you definitely want to dock that just like we did if we had that quarter container. You definitely want to dock that up. And this scroll, it looks like it's a little bit, it's also fluid, so I would definitely make sure that is a fixed width and height. So this is Ministar's design. I believe this is Elaney. Ooh, that was looking clean. Hold on, there was nothing. Ooh, look at that. Look, everything stayed where it should be. It's just, yes, that was excellent. That was beautiful. Excellent job there. And this is Lorraine. Let's see what you got, Lorraine. All right, sweet, very nice. The shoe stays. Mobile menu is really good. Cool. Play button goes from the side to center. Excellent job. And then we have Dimma. She went above and beyond. She made her own button. She added some animations, and she even added a scroll down here to a Nike video. So you guys did an amazing job yesterday and really all the days previous. And I just love you guys, stacking each and every. Oh, she even did an overlay video. So she created her own button. She clicked it, and she made her own overlay video just like this. So guys, you're doing absolutely amazing things, and I can't wait to see more and more of this amazing content from you guys. And of course, please make sure you join our Discord. If you guys are trying and having challenges with Editor X, please make sure to ask us questions or me questions in the Discord so I can help you through what it is that you are having challenges with. Now, let me see. Wait, Lisa, hold on. Did I miss yours? Lisa. Oh, here we go. Okay, we're gonna go back. Hold on. We're gonna go back. I saw this morning. Actually, I have questions. How did you get this to be all pink? We all have questions. So I love the fact that Happy International Women's Day. Yesterday was National Interwomen's Day, and this was awesome. I love the fact that, you guys, I love how you guys are taking the challenges above and beyond and really just stacking the skills from previous challenges into your future challenge. Oh, yes. And I remember seeing this, I think I commented on this morning. I think there was a little bit of some responsive mishap, and it looks like you changed it up, and this is beautiful work. It's a really good job. Really good job. Guys, you are constantly amazing me, and I can't wait to see what more you guys are going to produce, especially not only this challenge. Once I give you guys the folders, I will drop that in Discord for you guys for the correct assets. But for really, we have the challenge Thursday and Friday are our last days, and I can't wait to see what you're producing. And then we have, you guys get a nice 2-week break until April's challenges. So With that said, if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. And do not forget to join our Discord so that you guys can be together with us, learn together, ask questions, and add suggestions for future content. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, your host Brandon Groce is out. I'm wishing you guys an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a great day. Bye.
Websites like this and even this for you and your clients within just minutes. First off, you can achieve all of this and much more in the powerful no-code platform EditorX. On these dates, I will be hosting live daily creative challenges on YouTube to teach you the fundamentals of EditorX and how to create the exact responsive websites you see here, all the way from start to publishing the website. If this sounds of interest to you and you want to improve your EditorX skills, join me live each and every month to get inspired by what amazing things we will create together during our creative challenges, as well as get your questions answered live while we work together. Click the link below to sign up and get notified when the challenges begin, and I will see you in our Discord. See you then.